All right, my holistic heroes, we are here with Jennifer Takagi, and I know this bitch. I love this bitch. She is fabulous. She is amazing. I met her in Dallas when I was at that speaking thing, and I can't say enough happiness about her. So let's have you jump right in. Besides me knowing how fabulous you are, can you please share with the followers and viewers why you are so epic and why these 12 steps are so essential to your happiness?
Well, I'm epic because I just decided I would be. I make declarative sentences, and my friends are like, "How can you say that?" And I'm like, "How can you not?" Like, and
Mhm.
it's not that I'm uppity about it. It's just, I mean, we have our gifts and talents, and the things I do not do well, I'm very upfront. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I graduated college with a degree and an honors degree, and I never took a math class. So give me a calculator, I can figure it out. But without a calculator, I can't. And I worked first in corporate and then ended up in the federal government for many years. And I was really good. I rocked it. I had a stellar career. Someone said, "How did you do well at the federal government when in the disc profiles you're a high I influencing, like following rules is not your thing? Compliance, the highest I ever scored out of 100% was 8." And I said, "Because I wanted accolades. I wanted to do well. I wanted the award. So I did what I had to do." And as soon as I had the opportunity to leave, I had an evil boss, and it was time to go. And they said, "You can go." And I literally ran out the door as soon as I could. And I started this journey as an entrepreneur that was never on my plate. It really was not. But because we have so many, spiritual people out there, and there aren't accidents and things happen for a reason, all those things, I had to go. I'm in Oklahoma City, and I had to go to LA on a business trip because, again, I was a rock star federal employee. I had to go to LA. And I got on the plane to come home. It was the largest plane I've ever flown within, domestic within the US. It was one of those three seats, a middle row, three seats, other row, three seats. Like, it was like from LA to Dallas. It was massive plane. Well, this woman gets on in the seat in the row with me, and there are just two of us in three seats. So we get to sprawl out. It's really nice. I can visualize every bit of it. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she's flying from California to Dallas. And she goes, "I'm going to a retreat." I didn't know what that was. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Yeah, it's a spiritual retreat." Okay. I didn't know what that was. And then she said, "If you could do anything you wanted to do, what would you do?" And I said, "Oh, wow. Like, I've been part of this thing at work." And there was a speaker, and she walked out to the middle of the room. I've got to get a fake mic so I can like do this better. She walks out to the middle room. She's like 5 foot nothing with 3 inch, stiletto heels on, a suit. I'm pretty sure it was custom tailored to her. Her hair was up like in this bouffant bun thing. And she walks out to the middle room after lunch, close to 100 people in this hotel ballroom. You get the picture, right? And she has a microphone, and she walks out and she goes, "Hello, my name is Karen. And this afternoon," and I thought, "Oh my word, give me the spiral notebook the night before, and I could have owned that room. Like, I could totally do it." So I said, I'm going to do that when I retire, when I'm much older, when I retire. I'm going to be a speaker like that. I'm going to be a trainer, and I'm going to kill it. And she says, "Well, you've just opened it up to the universe, and they will deliver. And you're going to be given many opportunities to speak and train. And the doors will be there, and you'll keep not walking through them. You will be resistant,
Oh.
but they will keep showing up until you decide to walk through." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I don't know who this woman is or what she's talking about. I had an uncle that used to live in California, and he was like, "Yeah, airy fairy, nuts and berry." And I thought, this woman is totally airy fairy. I don't know what she's talking about, but I was nice. I'm a nice person. I'm from Oklahoma. I was nice.
I'm
And so,
nice.
damn it. So we have a nice little chit chat. Fast forward, hey, Jennifer, will you fly to our office and teach us how to use this Microsoft Access database? Yeah, I will. Oh, will you train here? Oh, yeah. This was not my job. It's just I was really good at it. So I was asked to do things. And I ended up being asked to do a 12-month training thing across the country. And I got back on a Friday and I found out Wednesday I had literally trained myself out of a job and I could move or I could leave. And I was like, I'm out of here. Like, I want to teach leadership development. Like, I want to teach people to be better because I was good as a manager, but I could have been better. I just didn't have the like guidance. I had an evil boss, and God knows she needed some training. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I had some success. It was good. It was fine. And then I attended a summit. And I had heard of Akashic Records. I'd even had mine read. I don't know what happened in that reading. This woman just was telling me things, and I was just like, wow, okay. But there was a woman on the summit, one of the speakers, and she said, I'm going to give away a free session to the first 10 people. Man, I was like, first, sign me up. I'm in.
Do it. Let's do it.
Clickety, clickety, click. I'm in. And so we had this session and she reads my records. Well, she's just a different energy than the first woman. The first woman was great. I ended up hiring her for multiple things, but it was just, I was in a different space, right? I could accept it differently. We get to the end of the session and she goes, and this was in the fall. She goes, in the spring, I'm going to be teaching how to read Akashic Records. Do you want to join? And I was like, yes. Where's the link? How much money do you want? Yes. I go through this, I get to the end, and I receive an email and it says, congratulations, you're a certified soul care coach. What? I didn't even know I signed up for that, Lily. I'm a soul, what?
Oh
So I
my
went into,
God.
I love to say yes, and I don't know what I got into. So I went into this paid women's networking group and I went, oh my gosh, I'm a certified soul care coach. I can read Akashic Records. I opened up my calendar for 5 slots. Who wants them? Okay, let's be clear. I had no clients. I had no business. I opened up 5 slots because I didn't want them to think I was desperate. I have the very first session and this gal goes, that was amazing. May I give you a testimonial?
Oh.
So if you're if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to get business, like what is manna from heaven? A testimonial. So that started this whole journey, and it took me several months because I'm a little bit of a chicken to say, I'm going to walk away from leadership development. I'm going all in on the spiritual stuff. So over the time, I am certified in 2 levels of Holy Fire Reiki, emotion code, body code, belief code. And now I just got certified in certified high performance coaching, which I think is just going to be a beautiful bow to put on this package of helping people. And I kept saying I'm not a healer. And a woman who literally I healed and she can now walk again because I followed the processes I've learned, said, I don't know why you don't just own that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love how you talk about destiny because we met at an event in Dallas, and 2 days before Podfest, which is a large podcasting event in Florida, a colleague who hired me to be the co-host on her podcast because she didn't know how to host, she didn't know how to be personal branding and stuff. She was like, I have a ticket for you. Come, I have a hotel room for you. Come to Podfest. And so I went to Podfest, and that's where I met Kimberly Crow, who then was like, oh yeah, we're doing this thing in Dallas. Have a ticket to this. And then so from it was less than a month that then I went to Dallas, and that's where I met you. And it's like once you open up to destiny, it's like it's handed to you, like you worked for it, you've trained for it. But that's what I love about like what we do. And like if it's manifest destiny, it will happen, and it'll happen in divine timing. I actually recently just talked to my mom about this yesterday. And I said, I'm so happy that I didn't become successful when I was younger because I didn't know as much. And while I was very good when I was younger, I'm now epic. And I can help so many more people, and I can do it in a way more professional way. And I've learned so much. And It's divine timing. It's divinity. It's destiny. It is that I feel the people they just like radiate it. We're like, oh no, it will go my way. Don't you worry. I'm not.
It's just a matter of a hot minute. And the fun thing is, all my leadership things that I've trained and learned for, they've all come together because if you're sharing with somebody a spiritual path for them, and they're anything like me, very, very much in this physical world, they're like, how do I do that? What do I do? I don't know what to do. And I would hear, oh, don't worry about the how. Well, damn it, I want to know how. Like, tell me a step, right? Like, so I can like marry it together for the people who are like me, super woo and super black and white, because I'm hardcore on both. And at one of the events, I had the opportunity to meet Jack Canfield, who is the founder of the Chicken Soup for the Souls books and a book called The Success Principles. And his offer was a training on the success principles, how to be a trainer for that. And it's a huge program. It was amazing. But the first principle that he found through all his research that every successful person embodies is take 100% responsibility for every aspect of your life.
Sorry. I gotta say something about that. So I run a business, I run retreats, I run conferences, I do all that. And I've had so many people who are in business say, I want to do that too. And I say, you want to know what I love about what I do is that it's all on me. Even if someone else in my company messes up, it's my fault. And I said, and they're like, that's awful. I don't want to be blamed. I'm like, I want to be blamed for every single thing. I'm like, because I know I can fix it. If it's my responsibility, it's on me. I'm a slut for it, Jennifer. I love it. And everyone thinks I'm insane. And I'm like, that's why you're not going to be successful, because you don't love the responsibility, the burden of having to do it. And it's not that you're doing it all yourself. It's that even my workers, even, my marketing team and everything, if it's a mistake, like it's still my mistake. And I love that. Yes. Okay. I swear to God, keep going. I'm loving this.
Okay. So I initially said, I take 100% responsibility for my life. Of course I do. But wait, when I run in 5 minutes late, it wasn't my fault. It was traffic. Okay, yes, I could have left earlier, but I slept late. That wasn't my fault. I was up watching Netflix till 2 a.m. and when the alarm went off, I just couldn't do it. Like, then all of a sudden I started seeing all the areas of my life where I wasn't taking 100% responsibility. But thank goodness Jack Canfield in his infinite wisdom said, if 100% is too much, try taking 5% more. Perfect. I'm going to take 5% more. Okay, so I start going back through the book. I start going back through the training. I'm rewatching the lessons, because what is the best way to really embody something? Agree to train it. You've got to learn it. I agreed to speak at an association meeting on step 1 on the path to success. Take 100% responsibility for your life. But now I'm going to tell them about the 5%, but I cannot figure out the 5%. Like, what is 5%? 5% more of what? Like, I need a value. I need to be able to get a calculator and do math. I'm not doing it in my head, but I can get a calculator. So I'm like obsessing about this. What is 5% more? So one day I had an epiphany. Thank you for divine guidance and giving it to me several days ahead of time instead of the minute before. And it was when I worked corporate or government, I typically was home around 5. I had from 5 to 6, my husband and I would figure out what we were doing for dinner, what the evening was going to look like. And then I had like from 6 to 10 until I got ready for bed so I could start over the next day. Well, that was 4 hours. That's 240 minutes. 5% of 240 minutes is 12 minutes. What can you do to start accomplishing your goals, living your best life in 12 minutes? And I've heard people say, oh no, you have to have 45 minutes of focus time, or I think it's 50 actually. And you have to really focus hard and work hard, blah, blah. Okay, well, sometimes that's overwhelming.
My
And I think
ADHD hates
people,
that. No, 50 minutes can suck a dick, but okay. Keep going.
yeah. So it's like, what can you do in 12 minutes? So I've had people say, well, 12 minutes isn't enough. And I'm like, but it can be. So I spoke on something, and this woman I don't even know had heard me speak. And she thought, my office is a paper disaster. I'm going to spend 12 minutes on this one little corner. And that's all, just that one corner. And she set the timer and she spent 12 minutes on that corner. And at the end of the day, as she left, she came back into her office, works from home, walks back in her office the next morning. That corner looked so nice. She booked another 12 minutes. She did another little section. And so over a series of days, she was able to organize her office. But you walk in, mine, I love paper. So it's like a paper truck backed up in here. This is how I ran my office at the, when I worked outside of the home also. I'm kind of okay with it. I can find my crap, like just leave it alone. But some people that's a real struggle for. But when you walk in and everything's in its place, you feel good. But when you look at it, you're like, I don't know where to start.
Mhm.
Somebody wants to write a book. I want to write a book. They have this big vision, this big dream. I'm going to write a book, and they never do it. Why? Why? I don't know what I want to write about. Well, guess
Oh, that's a roadblock for so many people. And I love that you found that 12 minutes is your magic number. I don't know if I ever told you what my magic number is.
13,
5.
5.
Because here's what I did. I realized that almost every chore in my house can get done in 5 minutes. I can hand wash the dishes that need to be hand washed in 5 minutes. I can vacuum one room in 5 minutes. I can switch out the laundry and fold it in 5 minutes. And I realized that, like, when I did it like that, I didn't think, oh my God, I have to clean my house. I go, okay, I'm going to do this. And then so I would only have to do 5 minutes worth of something to accomplish a task, because the dopamine needs to hit, people. The accomplishment, strike it off the list, needs to hit. So everything is in like 5-minute increments for me. And it makes my life so much easier, because like I'm looking at the time now, and this is pre-recorded, everybody. We're doing it during Pride Month. We love it. We're having so much fun. And I look at the time and I know that we have 10 minutes left. And in my brain, I automatically go, we have 2 5-minute sets left. And
Perfect.
so it is, once you find, so like your magic number is 12, and I absolutely think that that's a beautiful number. But for our listeners who think 12 is daunting, find your perfect number that works for you, and you will become so much more productive. You will become so much more empowered. You will have such a better life once you break your life up into bite-sized pieces instead of trying to choke on the whole thing. And it's another thing about dopamine is I have ADHD. And so we're told the frog concept. Do you know this ridiculous concept for neurotypical? Eat the frog in the morning, eat the big frog first. That is great for people who can do that. For those of us who need to ride a dopamine wave to get through the day, to put on our socks, what you do is you start with the smallest, tiniest thing. I had a client who was becoming borderline hoarder. And do you want to know what I told her? One sock, not even a pair. I want you to pick up and put one sock in the laundry hamper that you know it needs to go into, and you will get the tiniest surge of dopamine. Ride that tiny surge to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And she had one appointment with me, and she was supposed to come and see me 12 weeks later. She yanked me aside at an event and said, I will never see you again. And I went, okay. And she said, I'm fixed. She's like, I love my life. I love my dopamine wave. I love my little increments. So it's like, what you teach really is life-changing. 12 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. Like, I love the fact that I want to work myself out of a job. I don't know about you, but I want people to like be so awesome that they never come see me again. And so to have a client be like, I'll never see you again. And I love it. And I'm like, I'm so happy for you.
Well, and along those lines, I do energy healing. And so I was working with somebody, and she was like, well, what do you charge? And I was like, well, an hour is this, but You don't need an hour. So I got to talking to somebody and I was like, I can do this in 15 minutes. Now we've shortened it to 12 so that we can say hello and find out what your problem is. But a lot of the energy healing I do is very, very quick. And so people are super happy to pay a small amount and get that fixed. Like one session, and 2 different people are no longer allergic to cats in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
One session for a little girl who had just broken out with eczema, it's gone, no more eczema. Somebody else, it took 5 sessions, but she was also 40 and had suffered with eczema for years. So we can do it in short phrases. We don't have to lay on a psychologist's couch for 20 years to get better.
Yep.
We can do it quick. We can do it easy. It doesn't have to hurt. We don't have to relive trauma. So in my book, 12 Minutes to Success, I go into a little bit of detail about, how I got on this journey. But my gift for your audience, if they want one, is I have 12minutegift.com, and I've got 3 pieces of audio content. Audio podcast works really well on how to get it started for yourself. And so that's my gift to everyone in 12minutegift.com. And you can start it. Sometimes it's just getting started. Put the one sock in, walk through and throw all the clothes in the hamper if one sock is not overwhelming to you. Last night, I had made a hamburger for dinner and it was delicious, but I cooked it on the stove in a skillet. And then I had a different one for the bun to heat it up. And I walked in the kitchen. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to bed. Like, it's late. I've been working. I'm going to bed. And I thought, nope. You can spend 12 minutes and wash these dishes. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to walk in and the sink's going to be empty.
Yep.
Because like you, it wasn't overwhelming. I could wash up those few dishes. I even washed off the cooktop. Like I polished it a little bit because there was grease everywhere. You just have to do it in little bitty pieces. You just have to get started. And all those little bitty steps are going to end up with you reaching your goal, whether it's cleaning your office, writing a book, meditating. If you've never meditated, and I was given the opportunity to go to a retreat, and then I found out that we couldn't talk for 3 days and we would meditate for hours at a time. And I went, I'm not your ideal client. I can't.
No.
But I can meditate for 12 minutes. I can be quiet for 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I
I
love
can do 2 also. I can handle 2.
So thank you so much for joining us. Can you say your website one more time where they can get the audio clips?
Yes, 12minutegift.com.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us, for having so much fun with me. I always love talking to you. For all of the followers, friends, and folks, thank you so much for joining us. Remember to subscribe and comment if you have questions. We are very friendly people. We would like to help you if you have any kind of concerns that you would like to bring forth. Other than that, go forth and be the hero of your own story, and don't forget to be offensively authentic.